I am in a mood today. Look, before I get started, let me make it known. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a life coach, I'm not Iyanla Van Zandt, and I'm probably not gonna fix your life. Figuring out whether you can truly trust someone can be a tricky game, but I figured out 5 red flags that work specifically for me that I wanted to share with you. Alright class, let's get started. Don't trust people that smoke Newports. Now I recognize this might be a little dated since most people that used to smoke tobacco have graduated to vaping. I actually don't know what the equivalent of a Newport would be in vapes, but if you have an idea, let me know. Now I don't know what it is. I don't know if shady people are just attracted to a cigarette with a higher amount of fiberglass, or I don't know if they need a higher dose of menthol to keep their demons at bay. Any person that's come into my life that I've gotten close to that just so happens to smoke Newports also just so happens to lie, cheat, steal, start bar fights, and they almost always got dirty fingernails. Now, of course, this is just based on my experience, but it is what it is. They disrespect your pets. Now, if you're like me, your pets are like members of the family, and they should be respected like members of the family. Let's say you invite your new friend Natalie over, and you say, "Oh, Natalie, that's my cat Dolores," and Natalie just does one of these. Lose her number and block her on all social media. She's up to no good and she was probably just trying to steal your boyfriend. Also, if you don't have a dog, get one. Dogs are very protective of their owner. They have highly developed intuition and a keen sense of who can be trusted. Ever notice a dog can look right through someone's eyes into their soul and sniff out someone's agenda or if they're wearing a disguise? Quick story time. When I lived in Massachusetts, I was friends with this drug dealer that just sold ounces of weed. And he had this big dog, super cute, but big dog. It was probably like half black lab, half Rottweiler, and nice to almost everybody. But he had this rule that if someone came over his house to buy something, if his dog didn't like them, he wouldn't sell to them. No matter who you were, no matter what you looked like. I remember one time I was over and this guy stopped by with his girlfriend, just like normal, like preppy looking guy, like he was wearing like J. Crew or something like that. Well-to-do. He said he went to Clark University, and as soon as he came in, Mucky would not stop barking at this guy. My friend was like, "Sorry bro, I can't sell to you." And he's like, "What? Huh?" He's like, "Sorry bro, my dog doesn't like you. Can't sell it to you. It's the rule of the house. You gotta go." So he left. 2 weeks later, we found out this guy was a narc. Man, you don't trust me? You don't trust me? People that borrow your things without permission. Now this is a given, but the first thing that comes to my mind is when people think they can borrow my clothes without my consent. If you come out of the bathroom and the guy you met at the club last night is trying on your clothes, get him out. Get him out, get him out, get him out. I don't care how cute you think you look in my Champion hoodie. I am ripping that off your back and giving you a bus schedule. None of my closest friends would ever go into my closet and start trying on my clothes without asking me first. I just went through both of my closets on New Year's Day and went through the whole "does it bring me joy" thing. And I'm telling you, everything in both those closets bring me joy right now and nobody's getting in the way of that. I don't care if you had to endure a tsunami on the way to my house and all your clothes are soaking wet. Do not reach for one of my hangers. I will gladly supply you with a pair of sweats, a crisp Hanes t-shirt, and a couple pairs of socks. But you have to ask first. Let me explain. When you lend clothes out, it almost never comes back in the same condition as when you lent it out. Like, don't bring me back my shirt smelling like Axe body spray. Like, please go get that dry cleaned. The lesson I learned from this is that people that want to borrow your nice things don't have nice things because they never took good care of their nice things. Don't trust people who are suspiciously generous with compliments. You know who I'm talking about, right? They tell you how amazing they think you are every hour on the hour. These are the types of people that will give you a hug and tell you they love you the first time they meet you. On top of that, they tell you way too much about themselves way too soon. The first week I meet you, I shouldn't already know about all your childhood trauma. I shouldn't already know all your boyfriend problems or why you don't talk to your mother anymore. Healthy relationships grow organically and have a certain rhythm to them in which you learn about each other in an effortless way. You really shouldn't have to try too hard. And all too often, people that are trying too hard are trying to manipulate the situation so they can position themselves in a way so that they can take advantage of you. Sometimes they don't even know they're doing it, and that's the tricky part. Now, of course, there are exceptions to every rule, and I totally understand that there are some people that just have no filter and end up telling you everything about them the first night, especially when they're drinking. But when someone is talking way too much and at the same time won't stop gassing you up, just keep that in the back of your mind. All right, next, this might be the most important red flag because it always speaks volumes. Do not trust someone if they disrespect people in the service industry. You know that guy that buys a round of 8 shots and then throws a dollar bill at the bartender like he's doing them a favor? You know that lady that won't tip the pizza guy even though he went through a snowstorm to get there? They might be the first person to complain to the Uber driver because the car smells like Cheetos when he's just trying to make a living. And they love to send back their food at the restaurant. Now, it's okay to send back your food if they give you something you didn't order or your soup is cold, but there's a way to do it, and always be polite. When someone belittles a service worker, that means that they take delight in degrading someone that they see as below them based on economic circumstances. And it should be obvious that they're the kind of person that needs to put someone down just to feel good about themselves. People like that are not your friends. They are the kind of person that will stab you in the back in a heartbeat and not have your back if you ever fall on hard times. If you know somebody like this, get rid of them and thank me later. All right, well, those were the top 5 red flags on my list. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. If you got a red flag you want to share with me, leave it down below. And speaking of down below, feel free to subscribe, feel free to like. You're already here. What's the harm? Also, thank you to everyone that enjoyed my last episode about when I was a foot hooker. Thanks for swinging by. I hope you learned something. I'll post something else in a couple of days, and until then, big kiss, baby.